It's so weird how that happens. Oh, hey. Apparently I have my camera on. I mean my background on. This is what I had for brunch. Yum. You can't see it. Think. This is my water bottle. This is my work phone. This is my personal phone. That's we're usually up here. And since we're looking here, I'm usually looking this way at this big old thing, which I'd show you, but currently has my work product on it. So I can't show you that side of the world. Excuse me. Hello, Disco. How are you doing? So I didn't do my normal intro because it's not a normal week. It's not a normal day. It's not a normal anything since joining Sagetti, which is fine. Which is, I'm absolutely loving the work. Built some rapport with my coworkers today, which is really nice to feel like part of the team. I don't know. Is that a thing? I was trying to say something and mean it, but unfortunately, it didn't really mean it. I'm glad that I get to do my work. Is what it is. You can see now. You can see where I really am. I am sitting on top of a building somewhere in Kolkata, India, where you can see this nice rainy weather. Oh my goodness, I love rain. So yeah, I am doing well overall. I don't know for sure. As a result of today's meeting, I found out that there is an event that's going on from Sagetti for the client that I'm working for the Sagetti employees that are working for that client, for the team of Sagetti that I'm a part of. It's an so this is like an appreciation week, which is really cool that they're doing that. But we're having a lunch, and two of our key members aren't able to make it today. So I don't know if they're going to reschedule, if they're just going to cancel, or what. But that is at 12:30, and I haven't seen any messages to cancel the lunch yet. You know what? My music is still up really loud. Those of you on YouTube don't really care because you can't hear it. Cool. Here we go. Just waiting for this to load so I can rebuild my branch. There was a check-in that happened to master that broke the build, and actually, I don't know how many people are here because I never look, but if there are any of you that are available to answer this and you have time and it's not going to distract you, it's not going to use up your personal time, we are running into an issue where suddenly, after the most recent commit, which they claim that they didn't make any changes that should cause this, we're getting build errors that specifically say, where's my mouse? That's what my build error says. Hello, mouse. So for example, let's say that we were in the Maui app here, and we have mainpage.xaml. So one thing that you get is this class in a WPF XAML page thing, window, whatever these are called. And so what mine would say is cannot build finanman.finanman.maui.mainpage is not, or main page is not a part of finanman.finanman.maui.mainpage. And you know what? Hello, Tiger Pleb. So this just started happening and they have, oh, you can't see this. Let's maybe show your desktop. So you have this thing here, which is the x:class attribute. Is that what these are on the content page element? And so mine currently says fineandman.maui.main page. The build error that I'm getting, this is how we see what? This arrows, now we see this. Anyway, yes. So it looks like this. This. No, so we're doing a WPF app. I started building it in Maui, so my goal with the project that they were working on currently was to use Blazor for the UI, modernize the current UI, and I asked, can I do this in Maui? And they are like, yeah, we want to use Maui, we want to use Blazor in a desktop app, and then we want the possibility of using it on mobile devices. Sure. So I'm like, cool. And they're like, no, we have to use WPF. And I'm like, whatever. I'll still use the same component library. I'll just point this thing to my component library. That's all. No biggie. No biggie. So anyway, the issue that happened with their most recent commit to master is when we try to build, we get an error that says our namespace or main window does not exist in our namespace dot our namespace dot. And it's like, or just our namespace dot our namespace. And they don't know why it's prepending. So like it would say fineandman dot. They have no idea why it's getting this extra namespace prepended to the namespace of the class. And when they remove the namespace, then they get an error that this doesn't exist. And so one thing that I forgot to check because we were too busy talking about way too many things, which I can check now, checking out master again, is whether the code behind file is in the right namespace. Main window. But other than that, does anyone have any ideas? It is. It's in the right namespace. Does anyone have any ideas why we would get that error? Let me see if I can grab a screenshot of it and then maybe just erase the namespace. No. Maybe. I'm not sure what you mean, Tiger Pleb. I thought they were building Maui, then extracting it to web. So Maui is just a project type that allows you to write one code base and deploy to iOS, Android, Mac, Tizen, Windows. And you can use Blazor if you wanted to. You could use Blazor for the UI, which doesn't really have anything to do with the internet version of the web. It just means that your pages are going to be HTML rendered components using the component engine directly running on .NET. So it's not like you're going out to the internet and saying, give me the content for this page, I'll display that page. It's here is a class that generates HTML, display that in a web view component so that my users can interact with it. So for me, that means here's my Maui app, which I don't have to use any kind of Blazor with, but I chose to. And then here's the thing that will render the content of my Blazor component library. And that Blazor component library would be the same exact component library that I'm using for my web application. It's just that the services that it uses are implemented in a way that do HTTP request, whereas this thing is running on the local machine. It might also use HTTP request. It might use Signal R. It might use gRPC. Who knows? But the point is the UI itself is the only thing that uses Blazor. Okay. Did we get it? It's not even going to get that far because I didn't switch the packages branch. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get the error message again to be able to show. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see much of it anyway. Maybe I can just do a quick internet search after I clean and build this one so that it's ready for when I get back to work. And then I switch you to the screen. So that's the thing, Tiger Pleb. It's an existing application that was or is a desktop application. And my only role was to redesign and implement the new UI. Which I've done. And so now what I'm doing is hooking up all of the existing code to my UI. Grant. What? I just started streaming. Okay, internet search is what I'm trying to do, which is WPF build. Can I remember the wording? Does not exist in namespace. Duplicate namespace. Oh, awesome. So hopefully we'll get to that point, but right now I really am developing this app as a... Oh, were you asking about this app specifically? The app that we're working on for the stream? The answer is no, I have not completed the logic for this app. That's what we're working on now. And we did a whole bunch of tests. We created all the tests for deposits. And those tests were read. And now, if I recall correctly, IIRC do 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 do. They are all green. Cannot access a disposed context instance. Guys, they're their own context. My context factory did not give me a new DB context. Anyway, we're going to troubleshoot that. We're going to figure out why that test is failing. And it has to do with the test itself. Like if I ran the test individually, it's going to pass. Or not the test itself, but the mocking for my tests. Wait, no, that does error. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. And it was a change that we made on Wednesday because of a recommendation that we got during the stream, which was to put my context inside of my try catch, as opposed to declaring my context outside of the try catch and then handling the... Wait a minute. This is not the latest code. We implemented get. We absolutely implemented we'll figure out what's going on here in a minute. Grant. Grant is here. I acknowledge you, all of you, and don't mock it. I will not mock you. You, sir, are an amazing being, and you deserve to be where you are, and even better places. I have no idea what's going on with this. I can show Wednesday's stream. It's the only branch. Like all of these branches aren't there. The only one that's there is setup transaction service. Deflux. Grant, when does your stream start again? I forget. When are you streaming again now that you've changed your name? But we'll look at that. But real quick, so I just wanted to see if there's anyone that's run into this issue that might have some insight. So from our latest push to master, with no changes to namespaces or anything like that, the only code they touched was there was an interface that they added two methods to, and then they implemented those two methods in the concrete class, and then they pushed that from their branch to master, not touching anything else, supposedly. So the error message that I'm getting, yes, thank you, Dukasoft. The error message that I'm getting is exactly this one. The type or namespace blah does not exist in namespace, and then it's our app's namespace dot our app's namespace. So for example, here it would be something along the lines of transaction entry service type or namespace transaction entry service does not exist in fineandman.shared-client.services. Friday, October 21. When is the 21st? Is that next week? Yeah, next Friday. Sure. So I'm not saying that anyone has any feedback about that yet. But it's definitely this message. It's just that the namespace is duplicating itself here. I'm not going to have time to do anything outside of the streams that I've already cut back to. It's been so busy over the past couple of months. The very first thing that happened was Sajetti was doing a pursuit, which is, trying to win a contract. And I was involved in helping with the documentation for it and the responses and everything. And that required a lot of time, a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions. At the same time, I had finished the work for adding the new UI into the existing application. Like everything on it was mocked. It wasn't connected to the backend, but I completed the ask of give us a new UI implementation, an updated UI. And actually, it was two skins, two versions of the same UI. Or two versions of the same functionality as two different UIs. And I finished that, I put it in the project, and then they're like, okay, now that you're done with that, give us a schedule for how long it's going to take to hook everything up to the existing processes so that we get real data. And also, how do we come up with a plan for integrating this other product that we own into this existing product that you guys are developing? Yes, I use Blazor Orc. It's so nice. I love it so much. There are plenty of drawbacks for Blazor, but I find there are a lot more benefits of using Blazor than there are drawbacks, especially in an application that's running on a desktop. Yeah, exactly. Deflux had, like, I don't know, was it like 2 or 3 months straight of giving presentations on Blazor and trying to convince the corporate decision makers that Blazor is an acceptable, secure, safe thing to use? 7 months. Holy cow. OPM is finally upgrading for VB.NET to use .NET 5. Oh, Grant. Oh, man. I would love to work on that project, though. I'm laughing at it, but that would be an amazing project, in my opinion. I love modernizing code. So I hope you're having fun with it. Deflux said, and I'm not letting up either. Honestly, wish I didn't take this job, but if I quit, I have to pay back some monies. Tigerflip says, yeah, Blazor is super hot lately, at least in Western countries. There are so many people, like even among my team. So I told you that they have this new effort for integrating another existing system into ours. So we're in a generic way, we have a diagnostics utility application. That's what our product is. And it will diagnose hardware issues, is what the main focus of what currently existed with the project before or still, that is the product that is being developed and maintained and all of that by the existing team. And all I did, like I said, was put a new UI on top of it that was already designed, and I just took Figma, turned it into Blazor, and it's awesome. And there's been such good feedback about it too. It's amazing. I love it. But then there's this other one that another product from the same company that does diagnostics on connected devices. So not just the internal devices of your computer, but also connected devices like monitors and docking stations and printers and all of that. And they want to pull that into the diagnostics application that we're making. With that said, I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. The other team that we're working with, this was in response to Tiger Pleb's statement about Blazor being super hot lately, at least in Western countries. The other team, like both apps were, their UI was originally written in Angular. But the other team is like, well, why'd you even decide to go to Blazor? And I rattled off the standard, and I have no idea how I came up with the statement. I don't think I'd be able to come up with it for you guys, but it was, without stuttering, something along the lines of, well, Blazor gives us the advantage of being able to use C# everywhere, and we don't have to rely on JavaScript. We can still use it if we need to, but since we're already running on the .NET runtime, then we have access to that entire ecosystem within our Blazor components without needing to do any weird bootstrappy kind of things that you might have to do with Angular. And like our components can communicate directly with the .NET runtime and run code, as opposed to needing to do some kind of API call or gRPC call or SignalR connection to some other running process just to get the status of the hard drive, how much space is taken up on the hard drive. In my component, I just put system.io.drives or whatever it is. Yeah. It's good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, anyway, they're like, there's so much that Microsoft is doing. Blazor's going to fail. Microsoft is going with this. This is why Microsoft is coming up with this other product called History. If someone else can beat me to this other project, I will look over at chat as soon as I find it and find out if someone has beaten me to it. When was this conversation? Wednesday is when this conversation would have been. Oh, maybe not. Huh? Oh, there it is. Apparently it was Tuesday. All right. Does anyone have it? Anyone? Did anyone beat me to it? Project Reunion. Let's go. And it's like, no. This has nothing to do with replacing Blazor at all. It's replacing WPF essentially. Oh, I have no idea when this started. That was the first time I had ever heard of this. Well, this is replacing both UWP and WPF or something. This is just replacing the way that you do desktop development with .NET. I think I didn't read this whole thing, so I really, really don't know what this project is. And that's why I had it open, but then I had to restart my computer a lot and then forgot that I had it open and never reopened it. So I need to read about this to find out what it is. But essentially, there's just like, they're like, we don't even know why you're doing things the way you're doing. And it's like, that doesn't really matter. The point is we need to take the functionality part of your code, regardless of what application type we put on top of it. We need the functionality from your code to exist in our application. Give us some DLLs. Oh, well, we're still on .NET 5. And we can't update to .NET 6 because there are certain Windows .NET limitations in .NET 6 for depreciated libraries and different ways of getting system information and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, fine. So we can go through the effort of, is that tool for non-Visual Studio Dev for desktop app? Not sure. So let me put the link in here. I'm not sure what you mean by only for desktop app. I mean, it is desktop app. So are you saying like you're thinking that this would help people that aren't using Visual Studio to develop desktop applications? Because I don't really have any experience with doing dev work in Visual Studio Code, really. So I don't know if it's difficult for you to make a WPF or UWP app in Visual Studio Code or other non-Visual Studio product IDE. Okay, I missed a whole bunch of Deflex's comments though. He kept going about the job. If it wasn't for that, I would have quit by now. And then Grant said, it's going to be such a headache to move old code over. I don't think so. Definitely take a look at the Upgrade Assistant. Run it through that first. There's a quick quick start here. You have to add a package that's like the analyzer tools or something to the projects. But once you do, you'll get some feedback about here's some extra packages that you need to run. Let me see if I can find the command way over here that can help you get started. Okay, so what you do is you navigate to either the project or the solution directory of the main product, and you go, after downloading Upgrade Assistant and installing it, Upgrade Assistant Ticketsoft, analyze // path to either proj or solution, and space dash format HTML if you want to see it as HTML. And so you'd run this in PowerShell on either the solution or the project that you're thinking about upgrading, and it'll give you a HTML readout of here are some things that you'll want to consider, here are some packages that will need to be updated, here are some things that won't be able to get converted. A lot of the times if you're going from VB to C#, it'll have the compatibility tools that it would want to add. I'm full of ideas, some good, some not. So Dugasoft was like, bang, upgrade. Could be an idea. What would it do though? I can't be that creative. Diagnostics of WordPress. Ew. Where I'm from, still heavily in JavaScript. Yeah, same thing with the company that I'm working for. I think that their major preference was Angular. The current effort that I was talking about where I had to help put some documentation together, some responses together, not documentation, they want it to be Angular front end, Java Spring back end. Everyone wants that, and it's like, do we have to? And it's because I think it's like e-commerce is very, very big into Java Spring for their ERPs and MDMs. I'm learning so much about this that I didn't want to know. Where was I in chat? That's okay because I'm lazy, says Deflux. So it works out. Completely rewrote my side project. Awesome. Oh, that's so cool to hear, Deflux. Can I say the name of the project? Microsoft is launching history as a product. What was it called? History? T-Flex. I got words. I know words. And Amin is here. That's where I'm at in chat, by the way. Amin is here. Hello, Amin. I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope your days have been going better than they seem to have been going. And they were doing that before Blazor question mark. We talked about that. It's UWP retread, and it has web views, so it runs Blazor anyway. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what happens. The UI that I'm developing and the core application, the core functionality of the application are solid. It's just needing to put it inside of a different application type, a different project type. Okay. Go ahead and create a new project type that says, don't use Maui, don't use UWP, don't use WPF, use this thing. Sure. Why not? Yeah, there's .NET 7 now. Should have upgraded to that yesterday. So that's the other thing. Like the first I heard that the team that I'm working on was even considering going to .NET 7 was on Wednesday's call. I was like, I don't think that that's like a wise move at the moment with all of the efforts that we're trying to do. I'm pretty sure we could test it, just change all of our packages to Net 7 and see what happens. Or not packages, but target frameworks to Net 7 and see what happens. And if it all works, nothing extra to do. But otherwise, how about just waiting until we finish the current work that we have that we're supposed to be doing by December? Because we're supposed to release 2.0 of this app in December. And they just finished a release for the last 1.x. Dukusoft, what? WordPress is the best ever. Just a link to the upgrade assistant. Oh, yeah. I don't know how often I'm gonna be recommending this to people though, because it's kind of unwieldy. I tried to run. So like the reason that I know about it offhand was because after talking with the team and finding out that they're still in .NET 5, they gave us access to their repos. So I cloned it, I ran the tool on it, and I'm still not able to get a good readout of what it would take to go from .NET 5 to .NET 6 in their libraries. It just keeps saying you need to install Analyzer. And it's like, okay, I added it to the project and built, but I can't build. That's what it was. I can't build yet. 11 Lion Assistant. I can't build yet because I don't have access to the NuGet feeds that those projects need. So I can't add the new package to it. Or the analyzers package. Oh my gosh, words. And okay, just looking my emails. Checking my emails. How dare. Okay, so now we know about Project Reunion. We know about the upgrade assistant. We still don't have any clue why the namespace would duplicate itself. So I have some work that I'm going to be doing that I need to have completed for my user story. So that's my primary focus. But as soon as I finish with that, I'm going to be looking through the merge that they did. It was like 6 merges. It was crazy. But yeah, I'll be looking at the merge that they did to find out if maybe there actually was a change in namespace so that it's doing, like here it would say Xamarin.Xamarin is what's happening in ours, except that it's one of our custom namespaces. Yeah. And my guess is it's that the problem is it's in the same solution. So here's another thing that I haven't seen. I have not seen one solution have multiple namespaces, which I know it's possible. The similarity here, the analogy here would be instead of this being finandman.tests, this would be b unit finan tests. And so they have namespaces that are not anywhere close to the name of the project or the default namespace, which I guess comes for free. Doesn't need to be specified. And so I don't get that. Grant is saying, that's a question I had for you. How are you doing with giving estimates now on your stories? Still having fun with them? I hate it. I still hate it. I don't. I mean, I understand that the client wants to know a rough estimate, but instead of it being treated like a rough estimate, it's being treated like a promise. My pant leg is being torn apart. I keep stepping on it and tearing it. And it's like we have the understanding during the meeting that you want an estimate, a good faith estimate based off of what I know now. It's done when it's done. Sit down and have some coffee. Can't really say that to them. Um, um, the thing is that they are. It's just like the feeling during these meetings is so aggressive and so confrontational that everyone thinks that if we give an estimate, the dev team is like, if we give an estimate, that's a binding contract for them because they're recording this meeting. They're going to refer back to it and be like, you said you're going to have this done in 2 to 3 sprints, and we still haven't gotten a product. And we're like, we ran into all of these issues and we told you about them early enough. And then the client is like, well, we can't just let you go off and do whatever you want for however long you want. We are investing money in this project and we need to budget and find out, is it worth pursuing this effort? So we're looking for a good faith estimate. And neither side seems to believe that the other side is telling the truth or being cooperative. And I'm in the middle going, can I go to work now? The estimate is it would get done faster if instead of spending this time listening to you squabble, I was actually writing code. But most of the time, the meetings are blocked out and they only last as long as the meeting is blocked out. Yeah, we try our best. And that's the thing with me. I'm okay with saying, based off of the information that I have now and based off of the level of efforts that I've assigned to the work, I think it is going to take me 2 to 3 sprints to have it completely done. So by next week, for our next week's meeting, you should see this thing and this thing. But if you don't, I will make sure to let you know. And yeah. So still having fun with it, but I am getting better at giving estimates and actually following through and hitting the timelines. It's just that the rest of the team doesn't want any single member doing that, which is understandable as well. Wait. Oh, these are the tests. What happened? Get transactions async. Right, I changed these to use shorts. I said shorts. But I'm sure we implemented this in our previous session. Okay, let's go look at our previous session. Dukasoff says sprint. I never sprint. You'll have to wait. Messaggi. Why does it say? Oh, because InstaFluff. InstaFluff has an announcement. InstaFluff said he decided to push the stream to tomorrow. So for those of you wishing to see InstaFluff, he's going to be streaming tomorrow. Super cool guy, super chill, amazingness. If you haven't followed him, isn't there a new feature in Twitch where you can do a shout out where it gives you this banner across the top that says, if you haven't followed this person, here's a way that you can follow them. Irish Jump Games has it, and it's really cool. I have to look into that. Okay, anyway, I am gonna go to Kansas City, and you're all coming with me. I hate these snaps. No, snap where I want you to. Man, why can't they just leave good enough well alone? What? Twitch. Wait, we can go to YouTube's. Look, I'm promoting my YouTube's channel. I'm not signed in. Am I in incognito? That's weird. Anyway, one line on YouTube's. No commercials. What a nice guy. Especially since like there's not that much content in any of these videos. It's mostly just me talking with chat, with the invisible chat that no one can see on screen. All right, actually what I want to do is find out what did I check in at the end of the day. Oh, I'm touching my face again, just like in that video. Deposits. I know you guys can't hear this. Ow. I can hear it though. He's loud. What's an APB? I mean, I know what an APB is in terms of police, all broadcasts. What's an APB? Can I touch the face? All right, so we're looking at transaction entry service, and I'm talking about the get all deposits. Excuse me, you're in the way of I don't think we're going to be able to see what branch he's in. This guy sounds so weird. How can you put up with his voice? Another use case for your YouTube videos. Oh, yeah, I do have YouTube Premium. I just don't know why I'm not signed in this browser. That's weird. I have exactly 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel. You're in the way. Move. Move. Smack him around. And I have a comment. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I know who you are. I don't know if you want other people to know who you are. Yeah, okay, so look. Set up transaction service, and I'm getting ready to do the commit. And I do remember that as soon as we finished with the stream, I didn't push yet. Or, yes, I did. Wait, what did he just click on? Okay, he clicked on commit all and push. You saw that, right? You know what? You know what? Why didn't you guys tell me? What? Can I introduce you to the transaction entry service for shared server? The error that I'm getting is that I did not pull my changes to the interface into my client implementation. Whoops. Dukasoft, you have the best responses. So Grant said, a while back I heard that YouTube was wanting to add 5 to 10 unskippable ads before the video starts in hopes it would push people to buy into premium. And Dukasoft was like, it pushed me to use AdBlock. Oh man. All right. Okay, so is that implemented now? Updated client service implementation. Irish John Games is here. So Irish John Games, Johnson. How do you do the thing that you do with the shout out and the little follow thing at the top? Is that a custom bot thing or is that from Twitch? Because I really like that. You or the mods can do slash shout out. Oh, you actually have to do slash shout out. So not just the SO. Oh, slash shout out. Wait. Slash shout out. Dukasoft, can you do it? Dukasoft is a mod, right? I thought I made you a mod without you knowing. I just clicked on your channel. Yeah, Deflex, you didn't hear when Irish John gave you a verbal shout out? Mod Duca ASAP. Not mod him. I don't want to mod him. When I was in Irish John's stream, he was not letting me have any of my shite. Yeah, of course. He doesn't take any shite. It's so cool. You should, yeah. You're my hero. Rules manager. Durkasoft. Oh, that's what happened. I tried to give you mod, but I didn't want to take away your VIP. But I guess mod is higher than VIP. Anyway, so yeah, if you do slash shout out, yeah, VIP overwrites mod. Mod view. I said slash shout out. There it is. So you should, if you're not subscribed to Irish John Games, you should see a banner in your chat that says follow. And you can do that if you feel like it. I also said earlier, InstaFuff. Only one shout out can be active at a time. Please wait a minute and try again. Well, how am I supposed to see when it expires myself if I'm already following? Dude. I guess it's exactly 1 minute, and that's why it says please wait a minute to me. Yeah, it's not that weird. I mean, it makes sense because the banner shows up just like if you did a prediction or other things that show up at the top, and so it's like just wait until that dismisses. What they could do, I was gonna say should, but what they could do is just queue them, stack them on top. Why are we still sitting here staring at this kid? Oh, geez, it's still showing. I wonder if my bot would tell me when it finishes sending. No clue. Okay, last try. All right, I'm gonna give it a minute. Thank you for letting me know that, though, Irish John. Irish John. So I can't just say John. It's so weird to just say John. It's either gonna be Irish John Games or Irish John or Rip. I mean Rob. Rip, rip, rop, little Red Bull showers. And it feels way too weird to give into the hype and call you Jern. It's it's painful for me to do that. It's the yar, which is a command. Oh, you know what though? Dukasoft, can you please do an actual SO? I think now that you're mod, doing an SO might actually do the clip. You could pick anyone you feel like. As he falls asleep. No, just SO. So Bang SO comes from Twitch Guru. And that's where I get the shout out clips from. Thank you again, Irish John Games, for that one as well. I learned so much from him. Pro streamer he is. Yep.
What's your favorite kind of nut?
Cashew.
Cashew?
How'd you know I was going to say cashew?
It was awesome. Yes. Oh my goodness, the shenanigans that he gets up to on his stream. So guys, I did this yesterday on his stream, but I want to do it officially, especially for posterity, for recording. Irish John Games is an amazing streamer. If you have not checked him out, you should check him out. He created an entire game with, I'm gonna say, limited help, mostly solo. Or I don't really know how many people you work with on your team. But not only has he created this amazing game called Rise of Piracy, which you should check out on Steam, he also, speaking of, I'll bring up the store page if it works today. He was also working a full-time SDE job while working on this game, streaming every day, not missing a day at all. And yeah, it looks amazing. Look at that water. Look at that water. And on top of that, he's created stream tools, or not tools, but extensions. Things like this interactable battle royale thing where you fly around in a ship and then you shoot at other people that are connected at the same time. And he created, I don't know how long ago you created Help Me Place, Fogia, and whatever else you created for Unity. But he's done a million billion things by himself for the most part. and this game is coming out S ***N. It's so cool. So I wanted to boast and gush on about him for the longest time, but I always thought that it would come across as insincere, and yeah, I just want to give him a lot of respect. That's all. That's all. Okay. And also not sponsored. He did not pay me to say that. Promise. Yeah. Yes. And me, I'm struggling to do my day job and stream. Oh my gosh. Cool. Cool. That's how I meant to say it. Hopefully it came across as being genuine and thoughtful. Yeah. Agreed. Dukasoft. And then there's Dukasoft, who's just an all-around good person, not just because of the things that you do, not just for giving so many gift subs. Oh, you were at 50 though, and now you broke it. Now you're at 51. It's an odd number. Had 2 days till my Prime sub. It's okay. It is absolutely okay. Ooh, my package was delivered. Oh. I used to, so Tiger Pleb, I used to be able to stream my day job. When I worked at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, I was working on the Blazor conversion apps, and I streamed every day for 6.5 hours, I think it was. Let me get signed in. What is it? I want to click. I want to click. I can't click. Yes, it's me. There. Unknown ping Irish. Well, I don't get it, Deflux. That's how I read that. Huh? I don't get it. I don't get it. But take a look at this date. Early access 2022. I had to put something in the box because my company wasn't fully set up yet, and I didn't want to. You could put automated realms. I'll publish you. Logged in. Take me to video poker. Now with video poker. Every time that I start saying video, I think of that episode of Futurama. Okay, okay. So this is what I used to stream a million years ago. Live streams, and let's go. Can I sort by data sending? Deflux was one of the first people there, by the way, in the beginning. April 2020. Yeah, and I gave these all thumbnails, so I can't really see. And you can see that I used to do no camera, no possible voice. Whoa, Apocalypse is here. Hello, Apocalypse. I hope you're having a fantastic day. One line was the one that ate the apple. The snake said was yummy. Shh, stop giving away my secrets. I just now got people to start liking me. Yeah, look at this. 567 videos on my YouTube with only like 50 of them being published. But yeah, I used to code every single day or stream every single day while I was at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. And I showed my actual work product and we got to work on it together. I learned Blazor during the stream. Oh, it was so good. It was such good times. But now that I'm working at a consultancy where we have to protect our clients and their IPs, I can't really stream any of that anymore. And so we come up with a project that still talks about the same technologies and learning those technologies and implementing good programming practices like writing unit tests and branch strategy and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at. But speaking of, today's supposed to be Community Day. So not used to it. This is only my third stream of the week, and it feels weird. Can I download your code and run it? Let's see how I'm doing. Yes, it's up to date. So what Community Day is, for the next hour, if anyone feels like it, they can hop into Discord, into the stream waiting room, and I'll pull you into a voice channel where your voice will come through on the stream as soon as I get my speaker set up. And we can discuss whatever you feel like. It doesn't even have to be program related anymore, as long as it's respectful still and thoughtful of other people and not just lewd or loud or trolly. It'll be fine. Is eagerly waiting for the first buy more follower. Whoa, whoa! Except that Deflex is moving around a lot. I was trying to grab him and pull him in. He's in the community hangout though, not the stream waiting room. So I don't know if that means that he wants to come into the stream room. Findle's there. Irish John is. You know what else? I am participating in. Hi, John. I am participating in the beta for. What is that thing called?
A1
Hello.
Hi.
It's so weird actually talking with you. I'm so used to you just, talking to camera.
It's kind of surreal, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Everybody's involved now. I thought I was gonna break the ice for the rest of them. Can I just say, with all due respect, feck.
Feck.
Feck what?
Feck a t-shirt.
Have you guys heard
No swearing. No swearing on one line stream.
Oh, you can swear. I mean, just try to be thoughtful, but use thoughtful swearing if you're gonna swear.
I, in general, try not to, but it's really hard.
It's part of my culture. I'm Irish, so technically it's not possible.
I've used that in an argument in the United States with HR. I've used that as a thing. It's culturally part of my history, and you're discriminating against me on my protected status.
Just because every other word is bloody.
All the swearing is a part of my culture. I love it.
my mom says feck, so it's not a bad word. Just remember that. My mom has never said it. Well, one time she did call me the B word, but that was because she was really annoyed at me, right? But not a bad word. If she said it ever, not a bad word. Except for that one time.
Love it.
We won't talk about that though. Can't talk about that. I'm very busy, but listen, love y'all. I'm gonna hop out now.
It was really cool.
Thanks, one night.
Having you here. Thanks for breaking the ice.
Good to see you.
Bye bye.
Well, but before you go, I want to say how I read it is I'll share with one line. So it's like the top bit is developer Irish John Games, and then then it's software. What is it? Software
publisher.
There it is. Publisher Irish John Games. That's every time.
Oh, with the clap in between each one. Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. That's brilliant.
I still don't get it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so it's like you can
check. go check on Gary. The mouse.
Okay.
The mouse is still at large. You don't understand.
I'll tell you guys what that is
See you
after.
Bye.
So,
Bye-bye,
if you guys don't
John.
know who Gary is, Irish John Games has a mouse that has invaded his domain, and it just does not want to get caught. And he was trying to do it in a humane way without killing it.
And he named it Gary.
And he named it Gary.
Love it.
But he most recently he bought it a larger trap, which he's like it's pretty much a house for him. It's like a mansion. He's got plenty of space in there. So he should just
He didn't buy a trap, he bought him a trap, a larger trap.
Well, he bought himself a larger trap, but yeah.
Now it's Gary's trap. It's not Jern's mouse trap. It's Gary's trap. Love it.
I can't find this thing, but I was invited to use this, and I don't know if you got one of these, Thindle, and Deflux you would if you were streaming. But they're like, we have this thing where you can do calls with other streamers. What is this thing called?
Oh, yeah,
Under
I've seen.
extensions?
Say again?
Under extensions?
I don't know where it is.
No, I thought since you're in the extensions.
Because I
screen,
was looking
that
for it.
Okay. So I didn't even say hi in chat before I popped in here, so I just want to say hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, good to see you, Thindle. It's been a minute. I've been pushing your Visual Studio plug thing.
Nice. How's it working out for you?
I've been. So unfortunately for me, I've installed it because I'm a big streamer. I'm gonna stream a lot. It just hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So I've got it in the wings waiting, and it's installed. It's been installed for years now. But
When it happens, it's gonna be great, I'm sure. Yeah, I've actually got to spend some time on that again. I've got a couple of things I want to get done.
Isn't that just the story of any dev's life?
Yeah, I still haven't fixed. I think you reported it one line. The issue with the URLs.
Yep.
We kind of skipped one character, and also some speed improvements. So I tried opening in a 150 kilobyte XML file, and I had to restart Studio because that thing just ground to a halt. Then again, it's not very often that you open 150 kilobytes of XML in one go.
There it is. It's called Guest Star. So like, what I would do is I would invite, or I already have this in my OBS, but I would invite the people, and then it would show up in multi-frame, and then you would see it when I switch to that scene, as if we're doing a video conference kind of thing, like the professionals do. Like the real
But that would
people
show my stream on your stream, I guess, or
it would show your video or whatever you happen to be using for your video. So if you use like your virtual camera as your video, then yeah, it would show that whatever's in
yeah,
your...
but I mean, I need to be streaming to Twitch.
Just in your streaming software.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
And then you would be in here, and then I do stuff like move people around, and this is Backstage. So when you hear them on Microsoft talking about Backstage, you're in another browser over on a different screen. No one else can see it until I pull you into the actual stream, and then you show up in my OBS.
Nice.
Guest star. This is what the
I
screen
need
looks
to
like currently.
look at this. Not that I know what I'm doing or what I'm going to use it for, but it feels like one of those things that I need.
we could do.
Go ahead.
When I stream, eventually, I say we could do like a Friday. We could all do a stream at the same time.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Like pair program.
Yes.
Yeah, or just a co-working stream.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of co-working, where are you?
All I have to do is cover up the part of my code where it says how many warnings I have. That was when the last time I got with one lion. I said, "Hey, what do you think of my code?" First thing he said was, "Well, there's a lot of warnings."
It wasn't necessarily just that. It was like, there's a lot
No,
of
you gave me good
a lot of
feedback. That was
things
good.
that it's like, you could improve in this area. It's not something you have to do.
Like you've seen
I
my
did.
project.
I
Have you
have.
seen the amount of warnings I'm getting on that?
I have. Like, I haven't paid so close attention, but yeah.
I think it's something like 350 or so.
Mm.
Then again, that's mostly because I marked a bunch of classes as obsolete.
Oh,
Because I'm going to replace them, and I wanted warnings saying, you're not supposed to be using this.
yum.
But yeah, there's a couple.
I feel like warnings are like on the wrist, like just little taps. You remember that statistic? They calculated how many times you have to slap a raw.
Oh no, you cut
Yeah.
out. Slap a what?
Oh, I cut out. So this is a problem I've had with my new podcast mic setup. That for whatever reason, there's now a little lag or something. I don't quite know what to
Oh,
do about it. But no, so if you slap a raw chicken, I think something like
raw
9,200
chicken.
times, it'll actually cook the chicken. Yeah, it'll cook the chicken from like the slapping motion. And so I feel like that's how errors work in Visual Studio. You get little slaps on the wrist. If you get enough of them, you like.
Yeah, but I think they also noticed that not only did you heat the chicken, you also kind of turned it into chicken soup. So it lost like all structural integrity and just fell apart into goo.
Yeah.
That.
You don't like chicken.
I love chicken.
Well, chicken
Oh,
soup
wow.
might be good, but chicken goo, I'm not so sure.
That's just lack of faith. That's
Yeah, but it did work. I mean, they cooked it.
soldiers. Oh, I went political. I was gonna say.
But what I should be doing is fixing up some food.
Why would you do
But
that?
this is nicer
I
because I'm
can't eat food
hungry and I
right
haven't
now.
had food yet.
I can't eat right now.
No, but you're
You shouldn't be able
streaming,
to.
dude. Or
Oh
why
yeah,
can't you eat food?
But I bet.
because I'm
I
streaming.
bet if I were to make you some chicken goo and put it in a cup, you could be eating and drinking at the same time the chicken goo, and you'd be nutritionally supplemented and you'd be streaming.
Sounds like my breakfast.
Nice. What's the time over there? Online?
11:30. 11:45.
11:30. Well, it's almost lunch then.
Yeah. And I was supposed to be
Yeah.
having a lunch as part of the our company does an appreciation week, employee appreciation week, and the two major people from the team that I work with are like, "We can't make it." I'm like, "Okay, fine."
So you're gonna
Sure.
do it on your own, or
No. I think they rescheduled, so I don't have to worry about that today, thankfully. Dukasoft says I'm having ice cream right now.
yeah, Dukasoft, I love you, but I also kind of hate you now. But just at the moment, I mean, in 5 minutes we'll be good again. I promise.
What am I breaking here? I'm not paying attention to anything I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm doing this.
Yeah, I have no
You can't
idea.
implicitly convert. You got the other.
Oh, from nullable. Well, crap.
You set a retry policy on the standard HTTP client.
I haven't done it. I've never
Also,
done
shouldn't you
anything
be
with retry.
injecting HTTP client factory
Most likely.
and then getting an HTTP client from that to reduce the
Yeah.
amount of open sockets?
Yep.
I'm
I mean, this is a
not
small enough app
complaining.
that that's not an issue, but you are absolutely right. I should be doing that.
Yeah. Again, not complaining, just something that I thought of now.
No, I agree with you.
But no, so I have a community. I have a community thing I found a little bit recently. So for a while, I was using a custom claims principal thing
Mm-hmm.
in my Azure functions to inspect the incoming bearer token to find out what user is actually making the request. And I was using it for ages until I updated all my Nugget packages one day, and it said, bro, can't use that anymore. So I went and did a little bit of research, and I found out that they've actually gone ahead and implemented their like a standardized thing now. So now you can just use claims principal in your what do you call this? Like the Azure Functions section where you spin everything up, and it just works. They have everything done. It's perfect. You can get all the you get all the roles that user has, all the groups that user is in, and so on and so on. And it works beautifully, and I'm very very happy with it. And so that's what I came on to share initially, was that, because that was just brilliant.
Awesome.
Nice.
Did you see it in one of the videos? In one of the Ignite videos or something?
No, this was actually me doing this. So they have this, call it reading Microsoft documentation.
Mhm.
It's
That's
interesting thing.
It's
Recommend, yeah, I don't know. Recommend people try it every now and again.
odd. So
No,
odd.
I honestly, I was going through and I was like trying 10 different ways from Sunday to do it, and then it just came across like, oh, just shove this in here and it'll work. I'm like, no way have they made it this easy. And they shoved it in there and it worked. I was like, holy hell, I've been doing it the difficult way for years now. So I got the easy way in, and that's obviously a good feeling to find a nice little, not shortcut, but like the appropriate way, I guess, when they've made
You know,
something.
it's always good to learn how hard things could be, so you can appreciate how easy they are now.
I wouldn't say always.
Well,
I have trouble with saying always.
you're supposed to switch over to using the easy way at some point. But getting to know like this is how it actually works is also good. Knowing how to, reverse a linked list, actually knowing what the heck a linked list is, I think that's a good base knowledge. And then you can pretty much forget how you did it because you'll never have to.
Isn't linked list? Isn't that the type of item in link that I was only used?
No, you keep cutting out these words. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice.
It disappeared again.
Do you have,
have, like-
both crisp and or some other like the NVIDIA one? Because Discord uses crisp by default. And if you have both, then you start cutting out. So you need to turn off one or the other.
No, I'm coming direct from my thing directly to Discord. I'm skipping over my NVIDIA filter. I don't know what it does or doesn't. I think what it is the microphone is too quiet, and if I turn you up like that,
Whoa.
not too high, that much.
But
That much.
do you have a gate? Do you have a noise gate?
Limiter.
No, limiter is up. Noise gate is down.
Oh.
Limiter would say, "Oh, you're going
Yeah,
above
so
this volume, so I'll just cut you."
Release.
Your mom doesn't match.
Now
That's
you're
so
muted.
Yeah, I went into my sound settings and tested it. I can tell there is like a massive delay between when I actually talk and when it actually plays it through into Discord.
Muted sounds perfect, says Dukazak.
That's evil.
No, it's
So yeah,
perfect.
what were you saying about linked lists? Sorry, when you cut out.
No, I was just saying, isn't linked lists? It's a certain type that's only used during interviews. Isn't that?
No.
That's what I learned about it.
No, and yes. As I said, it's one of those everything uses it, but there's no reason for you to know it these days.
Yeah, for you to do
Like,
it yourself.
how would you sort a string or a list? Like, I'd call the sort method on it.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. But it is
Everyone
good to
knows like there are these
know-
built-in methods that you just use, but like how do those methods work? How do you implement it yourself?
Knowing that a bubble sort is crap is
It's the
good knowledge
best
to
is what
have.
you meant to say.
But I mean, knowing what it does. I mean, you don't have to know how to do it in the perfect way because that requires a doctorate and white coat and not doing anything but sorting lists for 50 years. But yeah,
Maybe a straitjacket too. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably. It's like encryption.
And it was like when I was preparing for the Google interview, it's like I remember all of these concepts and I remember learning them, but I have never practiced them. I've never needed to implement these fine-grained solutions like that. And that's because I haven't worked on large distributed systems.
I mean, to be honest, the whole point of .NET is to not do that type of programming, surely.
Exactly. Someone else gets to do it.
Yeah, but you also like if
Yeah,
you
it's
are working on some project that needs to be that fine-grained tuned, then yeah, you would need to know that.
Then
But
use C++.
most of the time you're not. Yeah. Yeah,
But
then you
I
go
mean,
down to the C++ part.
imagine you have 50,000 elements in a list, and you want to access element 25,000. Is it better to use an array or a
Array,
list?
obviously.
Why
First
obvious?
or default async?
Because lists are giving you pointers to different memory addresses, so it's a double lookup, whereas an array is a straight lookup based off of the first index plus the address of the first index plus whatever array number. So you're going directly to the address.
Yep.
I learned this from a Google interview.
Yeah. An array
That's actually,
is an
I kind
array
of knew
of
that,
pointers.
but I didn't know that.
An array is an array of pointers. You can just go first item plus size of pointer, which should be
Times
64 bits and a
index.
64 times offset. While a list is technically a linked list, which means that to get to element 25,000, you have to do dot next 25,000 times. There might be like midpoint pointers as well on the way there, but that's the general gist of it.
So like,
I
so
don't know.
obviously the array is quicker, right? But so enumerable or iQueryable or IEnumerable or iList, will any of those be similar to or better than just generic list if you wanted performance?
No.
They have different
iQueryable
use
just means you can
cases.
translate it down to something else, so it's not really entered into a list
Materialized.
yet.
Yeah.
It's like an IEnumerable, but that's not even started to be. We don't even know how to do the enumeration yet. IEnumerable has the upside that as you request items from it, it's looked up. So if you do a list, it'll figure out all the 25 or 50,000 elements. If you do an IEnumerable, when you ask for element 1, you will get element 1. When you ask for element 2, it will figure out what element 2 is. So it will only create as many as you need. As soon as you do a to list on that, you'll get all 50,000. But for example,
I mean,
here,
so
yeah, go.
so I was trying to get or trying to work out that obviously list is it's like a fully featured, that's like memory intensive, CPU intensive. But you were saying like these other ones are nowhere. Like I always thought that IEnumerable was like slightly more performant or something like that,
It's
or
just that it
iQueryable or some
hasn't
shit
been
that's like better than using a
materialized.
list.
It's not comparable to a list really because it's not anything comparable to a list until you dot to list, dot to array, dot to dictionary.
Yeah. Imagine a list is pre-computed. All the values are there. Well, in IEnumerable, you can read one value from a database, for example, return that, and then you read another one, you return that. So in a for each loop, it only gets the value that you're looking at right now. You can always break out of that for each, and then it won't keep enumerating them, figuring out what they are.
Yeah, so go back to the original thing. If you had like an array of something, or
Mhm.
you had an IEnumerable or something, and on the IEnumerable you did like first or default match this ID, and in the array you did something comparable, you're saying that IEnumerable would be just as slow as if I did a whole to list, or if it was to listed or whatever, or a list.
IEnumerable will stop as soon as it finds the item with that ID. So if it's the last one, it'll be just as slow as a to list. If it's the fifth one, it'll only figure out the five first, and then it'll break out. So that means it'll be really fast or really slow. You don't know. But if you do a to list, it'll have to figure out all of the elements first, and then it'll start to look up. And if you have an array, it's the same as a list in that case, because if you need to look in each element looking for an ID, it's going to be slow.
Yeah, I like what
That
Scott
was
said.
relative. I
Where,
mean, we're talking about nanoseconds here, so.
yeah. But when you're dealing with large data, then it matters. What Scott said here, which is that iQueryable isn't really either of those. It's a recipe for how to get its instructions, essentially.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
looking fancy. How am I looking
It's
fancy?
Yeah, iCollection
It's-
is another one that you can use, right?
yeah, iCollection is just like a catch-all, so I think iQueryable goes into iCollection as well.
I
It's just,
think
a step
iCollection
up
is
in
the
the generalization.
base, which it
Yeah.
doesn't have an enumerator. It doesn't have anything
No, it's just we
else.
know that this contains stuff, but
Yeah,
we
it
know
contains
nothing
more
more
than
about it.
one item.
Yeah.
It's a container for items.
So basically, we don't use iCollection unless we have to. It's like Ravensholm. We don't go there
Also,
anymore.
you can't do first or default async on an array, right? You can't do that. That's not what arrays are built to do.
No, I don't think you can, but don't quote me on that. Depends on if they added that logic
Yeah,
to
I mean, I
array.
haven't seen it.
I mean, technically, it's
Right,
just a
an
for
array can be
each.
just as slow as.
Yeah, as a list. As a list.
Yeah, interesting.
So this is how I studied all of my sorting algorithms. I created an enumerable that just selects which one to use, and then I implemented each one of them. And yeah, it was a lot of fun learning this.
Was it here? Was it on your channel that we went over different sorting algorithms a while back?
It might have been on this channel because I was really, really struggling to study for this thing because I'm like, I don't want to.
No, we went over a couple of stupid ones.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual documented algorithm, which is basically I'll randomize the list and see if it's sorted, and if it's not, I'll randomize it again.
Oh yeah. I don't have that one.
No, I hope you don't.
Yeah.
Because 10,000
I
elements
love
would kill your
the
computer.
visualization for it.
Oh
So
yeah.
good. Oh, Coding Train did it. He did the actual visualization for it. It was so cool to watch.
There's a video
I have
on
a,
different sorting algorithms and how they
Yeah.
work.
That's what he was remaking, except his way.
Okay.
It was so cool.
I have a curious question in line with the whole sorting algorithms.
Yeah.
The people say that WebAssembly is very performant, right? It's very effective. You can load lots of things in. I haven't seen an example at all of them, like, say, loading 10,000 or 100,000 elements in on WebAssembly in order to demonstrate its performance, and then doing the exact same thing in Angular or Vue or React,
Oh,
and then
doing the same
comparing
thing.
the performance.
Okay. So the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that
I
I
haven't
could
seen that
point
yet.
to.
Is there a reason why no one does that?
I think it's mostly to do with the fact that if you try doing it in Chrome, you'll need 256 gigs of RAM.
It's a bit much.
If you want to load like more than 500 elements, you will.
I mean,
Sorry.
I'll put it on the cloud and problem solved.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it is JavaScript. It's compiled JavaScript. I know that's an oversimplification to an extreme level, but it should be as fast or faster, I think.
Not car checker.
Well, supposedly WebAssembly
Orbital.
is considerably faster than supposedly JavaScript or like a Angular or React.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't JavaScript kind of compiled down into the same IL as WebAssembly is?
Wait, what? JavaScript being compiled down to the same IL. I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that.
No, I don't
Prog
know
testing
either,
says
but I
yes.
think so.
So, like,
Oh, nice.
God said in .NET 7 they will have multi-threading with parallel
Yeah.
in Blazor.
I saw that.
But that's still, isn't that? Well, hold on a minute, because
It's for processing.
WebAssembly is limited to one thread in the browser.
I think
So if you're running
actually
the
isn't
.NET
anymore.
thing, well, that was WebAssembly 2, right? WebAssembly 2, they were going to come out and then make it multi-threading.
The one good thing is that even if you're running an old version, if you prepare it, that means that you can just big quotation marks here, change the execution engine, and you will get full parallelism. Can't say that word.
You said it
Parallelism.
pretty well. That
Uh,
was nice.
yeah.
It became cooler quite
Yeah,
fast.
because multi-threading is not a thing in WebAssembly yet, I don't think. So
I
the
ran
thing is that
I ran the ray tracing demo that he had, and it really was a lot faster. Like a lot.
yeah. So I saw
faster.
the ray tracing demo, and I love that one, but I've not seen anyone do exactly that in say Angular.
I haven't either, but I mean, it obviously works. It does something. And I mean, I had a really good indication that it was working because I could hear it. My fans spun up like crazy because using like 16 of my cores.
Yeah, I just wish there was like a repo I could go to that does like a bunch of mathematical or other like sort of examples that you can say, here is example written in Blazor, here's example written in Angular, or here's example written in React.
Yeah,
Let's
where you can
compare the
compare them all.
performance. And they can actually have like a little demo. Yeah, I haven't found one of those yet. And I've got the feeling the reason is because the performance isn't that obvious. So I've got the
I
feeling
think,
that the WebAssembly isn't that much more performant than say Angular.
Yes, Scott.
but isn't a part of it also the fact that whatever you do, the proponents of a framework are going to complain that you did it the wrong way? That's why the web server comparisons are so dead simple. I mean, when you look at the ASP.NET web server, and in that speed list, how many requests they can do per second, that is like literally hello world from the simplest middleware that they can. It doesn't have anything of the engine on top of it, and that is I mean, they all do that for that test, so that means it's like this is the absolute fastest that we can do. But if you start adding a framework or a UI system or state system, then you start diverging what you are comparing right away. And then
Yes.
someone will complain
Yeah, so
that,
yeah,
oh, you
like
did my Angular wrong, or you did my not Redux, whatever, you did my whatever wrong because you should have done it this way. Or you tried doing
yeah,
too
so
much here,
prog
and that's sort
testing
of yeah. Go. Sorry.
yeah, prog testing brought that up, and he said that this is simple. Nothing is faster than vanilla JS, but I believe he's wrong. So
I don't know that for
vanilla
sure.
JS
Yeah.
only runs at a certain. Yeah, well, that's why I'm want to sort of talk about it because vanilla JS. It's like if did a hello world, yeah, it's gonna be quicker than loading a framework that says hello world. But if you want to do like lots of calculations, a lot of things in the real world, the WebAssembly runs quicker than JavaScript in general. That is, the WebAssembly is lower down in the browser's framework. And so when you're running the JavaScript, you're running it on top of the browser. And so the browser has to load and run that. And so if you're running a lot of things, no, your WebAssembly is going to be lots quicker than vanilla JavaScript. Because JavaScript is only as quick when it comes to changing things in the DOM. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about basically running things in a browser.
Calculating something, right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
reaching into a database or whatever, or doing some sort of calculation. Yeah.
I'm gonna feel old here, and maybe I'm not, or maybe I am. I don't know. But do you guys remember when the V8 engine was released
I've heard of it.
way back, like Chrome version 1.1 or something?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever needed to do anything with it or was doing anything with technology.
The big difference there is that before that, JavaScript was parsed line by line as it was being run. So it was literally treated as if the JavaScript was the source code as it ran. It was interpreted one line at a time. So if you didn't call a function, it didn't do anything to it before you called it, and then started interpreting it and running it. What V8 did was it pre-compiled technically the JavaScript into an IL, an intermediate language, that is then parsed and ran. That meant it was a lot faster, and you could see syntax errors on load. Before that, you could write whatever you wanted in a function. As long as you didn't call the function, you would never know. And WebAssembly is the same way, only it's pre-optimized, from what I understand here, which means that
It
they
can
both
be.
go
It
down
can be.
to the same path and then execute. While WebAssembly is hopefully pre-optimized, while JavaScript goes straight in, which means that JavaScript will probably not be as optimized.
Well, I think that there's something else that we're not taking into consideration. The only thing that is WebAssembly in Blazor is the .NET runtime. Then the DLLs are just normal
Yeah,
.NET
RIL.
compiled DLLs. Yeah.
Yes, what you have to do there is convert the .NET IL over to whatever the JavaScript or execution engine is IL, and then run that. Correct?
I mean, that's not how it works. No, what I think, or what my understanding of what happens is the .NET runtime is the only thing that is transpiled to WebAssembly, and then it is loaded, and then the rest of the code is run through the runtime itself, the .NET runtime. So
Okay.
nothing else happens to the DLLs.
Because that doesn't sound
Wow.
terribly fast, to be honest. I mean, then you have another execution step. It's like an emulator.
But it is the actual native .NET runtime.
So this could be legit, like down to what processor you have in your browser, in your computer. So I just shoved that into the old Stack Overflow, right? I'll post a link in the chat here. And someone's put, I've done this test using Rust to compare WebAssembly and vanilla JavaScript. And on my computer, vanilla JavaScript massively outpaces WebAssembly. And then the first reply says, well, I have a Ryzen 300 from AMD, and I'm the other way around. So it could very well be which processor you have on your device. For whatever reason, it puts you at the bottom.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I didn't mean to link it at the bottom of the page.
No, that's fine. It was directly to those comments that you were talking about. It had them highlighted.
Interestingly, the WASM time varies significantly on the Intel CPU, sometimes taking more than 3 times as long as JavaScript. The JavaScript execution time only has a variation of a few hundred milliseconds. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, this would be an interesting thing to see someone do in a robust kind of way that actually has a virtual machine that's set up exactly the same, maybe containers or something, and then it runs each of them in that container side by side, or in their respective containers. Prog testing has a link as well.
Prog, I grew up with JavaScript being slow as, I don't know, slower than a snail.
Did you use jQuery?
Hey, no, I'm talking pre-V8.
So you're talking,
I'm talking Netscape.
Yeah, so probably before ECMAScript, right?
Yeah, before it was ECMAScript.
Yeah.
It was JavaScript. Nothing else, just rebranded. So, and back then it was slow as nails, so therefore it must be the same way today, right?
Of course, no improvements ever.
None whatsoever.
That's exactly how it works.
So this article that Progtest link. Yeah, Progtest. Sorry, I can't remember who linked it. I think is trying to do like a comparison as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're saying that the WebAssembly was able to beat out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's saying that WebAssembly beats out JavaScript performance-wise.
I just want to see the numbers. Okay.
Yeah, so if you, I mean, it says this was also pretty interesting and unexpected because somehow JavaScript is almost 6 times faster than our beloved WebAssembly, and then he goes on to explain a little bit why.
This number looks smaller than this number.
Yeah, and then you say like just above the bottom paragraph where it says, "Will it replace JavaScript?" And so he explains why it's coming out that way, and it says, "Now finally we see." And there's another test. The speed of WebAssembly over JavaScript. It has won the benchmark.
Yeah, those two numbers are operations per second. It's not,
Yeah.
time to execute.
Right. Yeah, but it's still saying that
Oh, actually, this is just
JavaScript
performance of load.
can do more operations per second than WebAssembly, but in the end,
Yeah, if you scroll into the last screenshot, the last picture he has there, you can see 1,850 operations per second JavaScript handle, and WebAssembly can handle 2,868 operations per second.
for that one benchmark test, though, everything else has JavaScript ahead of it.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. I mean, in this case, it might be a good thing, but imagine adding a whole framework on top of that. Like, oh, we're going to compare Blazor to Angular. I'm like, yeah, but Angular does all of this and Blazor doesn't, or Blazor does all of this and Angular doesn't, and people are going to fight.
Yeah, well, what you're
Because
looking
it's
at
not going to
then,
be an apples to apples.
yeah, if you're comparing benchmarks this way, where operations per second is what you care about, then you would ignore the startup cost of WebAssembly, which is let's load up the .NET runtime from WebAssembly. So ignore that cost and then only look at the cost of processing your code through the .NET runtime. So you're comparing JavaScript to .NET runtime that was written for WebAssembly. And so however fast .NET works now should be pretty similar to how fast it would work in the browser. It's near native speeds is what the buzz phrase has been. So really you're just comparing JavaScript to .NET runtime.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, but Blazor being near native really feels like a stretch. I could be wrong. Again, I haven't seen the numbers, but if it's being interpreted from a DLL and then run through the framework when the framework is working on the same platform as JavaScript itself, I'm not so
But I mean,
sure.
you're not really doing very much with JavaScript after that initial load.
No, but every line that you execute from the DLL has to be interpreted and converted from the .NET IL over to...
No. Because, again, that's running through the .NET runtime only.
Yeah, but as it's being executed, I mean.
But the .NET runtime is already loaded.
Yeah, but it can't execute anything on its own. It has to do instructions to the browser to have it do everything. So what you have now,
render stuff.
If I understand it correctly, you have a DLL that has the IL for 1 plus 2. So the runtime, WebAssembly runtime, has to read that IL, figure out what it says, convert that to WebAssembly instructions that it can ask the browser to execute. Then it has to get that value back, convert that back into IL, and then run it.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
I don't know enough about it, but I really don't think that that's how it works. I really think that the .NET runtime is able to manipulate the DOM directly and get stuff from the browser itself.
Maybe. I don't know enough either to say either A or B. I'm guessing here.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
Scott did make a point that this WebAssembly from this article is not specifically Blazor WebAssembly, which has the upfront load time of the .NET runtime. This is just pure WebAssembly
we were
running
just
in the browser.
discussing whether or not, right? Yeah, so we were trying to figure out is WebAssembly more performant than JavaScript?
Yeah. But what I was hoping to find.
Let's say yes, because we like WebAssembly. and if anyone dares to contradict us, we'll just call their moms fat.
Or we just tell them they're using the wrong Intel processor.
Yes, correct. It's your hardware's fault.
No, that was the bot. I thought I was in financial management. Bot's dead.
The good old days when you could just, oh, this will take time to program. Let's just buy more memory for the server.
I just put is
Used to
WebAssembly
connect
into
it.
like the Bing thing, and like it does like the suggestions, and it's like is WebAssembly dead is the first one.
That's
I can
always the
guess
first
no.
question with any technology.
Just ask for is.net.
Just call people stupid when they don't agree, says protesting.
Yeah, exactly. 100% that.
Where is Finance Man? We never ran Finance Man.
Or, as I said, Prog, just say that their moms are fat. Your mom is so fat you don't agree with me.
I ate scallops today with Lingon
Ooh, calops and lingonberries.
Lingonberries.
Swedish. Lingonberries is one of those fun words that is a direct translation from lingon, which is the exact same word. The English word is from
That has
Swedish.
no translation.
No,
Well.
exactly. It's like smorgasbord.
Mm.
Did you hear what I said?
Smorgasbord.
Yeah. And that is a Swedish word, literally meaning sandwich table.
And it gets, because we're Americans, it gets overused to mean anything that's a large mass of food.
Yeah.
Variety of food.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But it is here as well. I mean, it's not just sandwiches, but that's what the word means.
Lingonberries.
Lingonberries. Love it.
Dickosoft
We also
was
have-
responding to the don't call or just call people stupid when they don't agree. I tried that at home. It didn't go well.
Here's another very random one. If you get buildups of stuff in sewer pipes, so they block the pipes, do you know what that's called?
Back up.
It's a fatberg,
A fatberry. Ugh.
which
thinking
also
of
is a
that
direct
sounds
translation
disgusting.
from Swedish.
I think Swedish is just mixed up English.
No, I think English is Swedish because Vikings. Exactly, Prague.
I want to
Fedberg.
know what in England we have the phrase called the Queen's English, which she's now obviously passed, and so we're gonna have to rename that to something else.
I mean, it's still the Queen's.
No, I
Isn't
no.
that
I mean,
the
I think
posh
I think they
version?
officially renamed it to. Yeah, it's like speaking correctly. Please speak the Queen's English to me. It's like saying to someone, "Please speak politely," or "Please speak clearly," or plainly.
Don't speak American English is all they're saying.
And so I think, yeah, I think they're renaming it to English in it. Is what they're renaming it to. It's now please.
I'm so
Oh
stupid
my
it was
goodness.
good. So stupid it was smart.
Why haven't you been posting these to Irish John's channel? That's where all of these dad jokes go.
I don't think Irish John wants to hear about the Queen.
But don't the
Anything
Irish
I do, that's
love?
hilarious.
Don't the Irish really love the Queen?
I'm gonna skip over the. I mean, that's too political for this channel. Okay,
Dodged.
we gotta tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
If you draw your attention over to the rules of the chat, and it's in Discord, it says you shall not say things.
You shall not say
And it explains
things.
what it is you can't say.
Ever.
Yeah, it explains it in the thing. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
The second you say
Right.
a thing.
You shall not talk about the relationship between the Irish and the British,
Oh.
because that
Political
way
stuff.
lies terrorism
Gotcha.
and mass murder.
All kinds of expensive judicial inquiries, and even when they have gone well, they haven't gone well.
Yeah.
I was looking for this. Oh gosh. I was like, why isn't
I'm
this showing
gonna
up?
say that it's probably just as everything else. One person is an ass to another, and that person is an ass back, and now everyone are assholes. Very rarely one person or one country's fault when they're fighting, or
And all it
cultures or
takes is
whatever.
one person to just
I learned
not do it
something
back.
new.
What?
I learned that the Queen Elizabeth, she pioneered as an individual drunk texting.
Nice.
She
Does
would
this
write
She
have
was the
more of
very
a story?
first person.
to. Yeah. She pioneered it. She practically invented it.
The very first person to text while being drunk.
You know what
Or the
Nixon
term.
did
So
back
she
in...
would.
English John Games.
Yeah, what were you saying, Deflux? Sorry.
Oh man, English. No, I'll have to dig up the clip, but they were talking about it. So she would write letters, but in the letters she would sound like she's drunk, and she would use abbreviations in the letters, which is like a lot like text messaging where we used to use abbreviations because it used to cost a lot of money to text. And so I'll go find the example, but she had like one where she was asking about the size of a donkey or something. It was brilliant.
Nice. You heard about what Nixon did while he was drunk as a skunk?
No idea.
Like, he literally ordered a nuclear strike on Russia.
Oh. What a
Only
douchebag. Don't do that.
some aide replied, yeah, I think I'll ask him tomorrow when he's sober.
Oh, I don't know how to
Brilliant.
read this.
So
I
just
was
saw a clip
looking
of
for
Nixon.
the .NET runtime being downloaded. Oh, it's right here. Good grief. Oh, no.
North
I just
Korea.
saw a clip of Nixon Nixon predicted Ukraine like 20 years ago.
Hmm. Yes. Oh. Hold on 1 second. No, it didn't actually send me the code. So, in the background, Andrew's trying to get in contact with me.
Some interesting reading, guys.
Oh my goodness, I can't type. Pretty noises. Oh man, so we should start wrapping up because I got to get back to work. This was cool. This was really fun
Work?
talking with you guys.
What's that word mean? I've heard it
Well,
before,
for
but I'm not
me,
sure.
it's synonymous with play.
Ah, the good kind.
Yeah,
The good
the
kind.
one where you're actually working on code.
Yeah,
I get to write software today.
I love it. That's
Oh, it's so
that's
nice.
life. The good side of life.
Protesting, yeah, work.
Yeah, but I read the article real quick, and I think 59 or 69, one of them. Nixon, well, North Korea shot down a spy plane, and Nixon decided to drop a 330 kiloton nuke on an airstrip while drunk.
Standard procedure.
Yeah,
You know.
but he went like,
Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully
I
it was a
think
rather
we'll ask
big
him tomorrow.
airstrip.
Yeah, but the fact that he went like, yeah, I think we'll ask him again tomorrow if he really wants to do this is the awesome part.
Since we know he was just drunk. Jeez. That's terrible.
Anyways, you getting to work,
Anyways.
and it's been awesome talking. It's always fun to
Yeah.
talk
When
to
are you
Mike.
streaming next?
Tomorrow, Sunday, or
You asking
Tuesday.
me?
So
Both of you.
kind of complicated there. I'm gonna try tomorrow evening, but evening my time, so about now-ish your time. But I can't promise anything. That means it might be on Tuesday, which might be hard for you to watch.
Of course. And you just got a shout out. Thank you, Dukasoft. So if any of you have not yet followed Thindle, you'll see a heart up at the top. Just click on that and you'll be following him if you feel like it. He does a lot of modernization as well. Oh man, I miss doing that kind of work though. He went from WinForms, something even
Webforms.
before web forms, all the way through MVC to Blazor, heading towards Blazor.
Yeah, it's going.
But first, he had to go from .NET's framework to .NET Core, and then it just sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a big project. It's still ongoing. Yeah,
it's so cool.
But also the extension dev.
Oh yeah, and he has bring it up. You can talk about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's called No Docs, and it helps you not dox yourself while you're streaming or displaying code for a coworker or pair programming or whatever. So what it does is it puts plaques or items over all your values in config files, but it still displays your schema. So you can see what the structure is on the config file, but you're not displaying all of your values. So I think Lang is opening up a config file here, or a file.
Click. Apparently, he is drunk texting.
Yeah. There you can see you have connection strings and DB connection, which you can see, but the values on the right are hidden.
Unless
What happens when you click display conflict values?
he just showed his secrets.
Yes.
That's why I opened this one, because that's fun.
Yeah.
Makes people nervous.
That means you can actually, edit it yourself. But one of the reasons that I decided to write it is that JSON files at least and XML files, and I think all files always open in the main studio window, which is most probably what you have on stream while streaming code. And you maybe sometimes, all the time, forget to switch your scene before you open the config file. It's good to have, you need to actively show it instead of doing the other way around.
Yeah, make sure you go to this screen before you show your secrets.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I love it. And I've been using it since the day after I doxed myself, which is when Thindle told me about it. And he didn't even know that I doxed myself the day before. He's like, I have this extension that I just made.
Yeah. But I think that was also literally like the day after, 2 days after I published it the first time. So yeah.
But it's still really helpful. Don't dox yourself. 2 X's, 16 I's. But yeah, product testing, it doesn't look like I have any meetings throughout the rest of the day, so yeah, I can be in community hangout today.
I need to make some food. It is 2032 here, and I had
How can you eat so late?
hot dog for lunch.
I have a really
good reason for eating late, and that is you. I was gonna eat just over an hour ago, and then it's like, oh, one line's on.
That's still late to me.
Spend time here.
Like the latest cutoff for me is 1800. If
I don't power nap when I got home.
If I eat anytime after that, it's really bad throughout the rest of the night.
Now I usually eat at like 18 to 19-ish. Now it's closer to 19, and then you were on, so now it's 2032.
In the year of our Lord, 2032.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have fun with my stuff. I'll be on Community Hangout. Product Testing was asking. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be jumping out. But as I said, always nice talking to you, man. And have a great time. Same to you, chat, though. Have a great time.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Any last words, Steve Flex?
No. I don't have any last words. I will be streaming at some point, sometime, someday, somewhere. Hopefully in this lifetime. I will be. I try to get things together. I have a couple things going on in the next couple of weeks, so it won't be really anytime soon. But I might do a test stream. It depends how busy I get next week. But
cool.
I might do like an hour just to test OBS and such. But no, I got a lovely the microphone that has this really long delay, which I can't figure out, which is very annoying. This very expensive $200 mic with a $200 soundboard thing is what I purchased to help me along the way, and it's working great, I think. And so I hope we're taking steps to get there.
Yeah, my mic is just a USB Blue Yeti plugged in directly to the computer. No soundboard, nothing.
Wow.
But yeah,
do every time you walk into the room, do you yell, "It's Yeti"?
No.
Okay, that's what I would do.
No, but that's all. Really cool. Hope to be able to catch you streaming someday.
Yep, yep. No, I should really time it off, and so I can I can raid you or you can raid me. That'll be
Yeah,
hilarious.
sounds good.
Then I can raid Irish John.
Yeah.
Are you I'm around for another just a little bit until I'm waiting for a phone call from one of my colleagues to set up some Azure stuff, so I got to do it with him.
Mm.
So I'm just waiting.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do so that I can help fix our build issues. But yeah, I'll be in community hangout after the stream.
All right. Too cool.
Cool. Talk to you later, Deflex.
See ya.
And for everyone else, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today. I certainly did, hanging out with Thinno and Deflex and earlier Irish John Games, and then of course all of you in chat, Dukasoft, Scott, Protesting. Who else said something? I'm missing at least one person, I'm sure. But I hope you guys enjoy your weekend as well. I will be streaming again on Monday, or plan to stream on Monday. Calendar check. Yes. Other calendar check. Monday. Yes, both of my calendars say that we are cleared to stream on Monday. So I will talk with you then. I hope you enjoy your weekend, like I already said, and I will talk with you then, and then enjoy your weekend also. My videos will be posted to YouTube 24 hours after the end of the stream. Thank you, Dukasoft. And then he already posted the link to Discord as well earlier. So yeah, check out my Discord. I am one line, or my YouTube. I am one line on YouTube's. Okay, that's it. Ciao for now. My camera wasn't even on. This is me disappearing because I always disappear. Okay.